Good afternoon, everyone. In this afternoon, I am tasked to discuss about the Philippine houses and the symmetry art of Okir. Let's start. Philippine houses, the blending of space and soul. How does it feel being quarantined in more than 100 days now? It feels like a prisoner or a detainee, right? However, have you come to imagine life without a house to live in this quarantine period? How about the people who live in the street during this pandemic outbreak? This is one big thing that we should be grateful for because we have a place which is not only called a house but also a home. As such, a home creates a space for our living soul, a place where our soul feels comfortable first, comfortable last, and comfortable always. Our diverse culture creates diverse houses, which we can call our very own typical Filipino houses. In fact, the artistic design of our houses does not only reflect the socio-cultural community we have, but also shelter the identity of our of how our soul lives to its fullest. Now let's witness the list of typical houses in the Philippines that serve as the space and soul of our heritage and identity that can be found in the next slide. First typical houses in the Philippines is the Torogan house. Torogan house is a traditional house built by Maranao people. Torogan house was a symbol of high social status. Why? Because this house was owned by Sultan or Dato in the Maranao community. The second one is the Ifugao Bale or a native house. This house said to be the first prefabricated house in the world, according to the renowned anthropologist Othleigh Bayer. This house used as the primary storage of the harvested rice. Third one is Bahay Kubo. We are all familiar with Bahay Kubo, right? So Bahay Kubo is a symbol of Philippine culture as it depicts the most nurtured Filipino value of called bayanihan. Fourth one is the Bahay na Bato. From the name itself, house made in stone. This house is a type of house originated during the Philippine Spanish colonial period. So, dugay-dugay na din siya. It is an updated version of traditional house, Bahay Kubo. Fifth one is the tree house. So tree house is a house built above the tree, and it is also can be found here in our place. The next one is the Tibuli house. This house is raised above 6 feet or more than above the ground, with side always barely more than 3 feet high. So Tibul house is kanang house with naay silong. As you can see in the picture, na siya'y silong. Kaya ni-raise man siya for more than 6 feet from the ground. Next is the Ibatan house. This house is not a typical houses that you can find in the Philippines. Why? This house is built with a purpose. What's the purpose? Is to protect them against the harsh environment condition. Kaya nga no, the location of Ibatan house is prone from typhoon. So, they decided to create a house na ligon kay at least kung magbagyo naay makaprotect sila ha. The next is Bajau Boat House. Mostly Bajau people are fishermen, so they traditionally live on the boat to fulfill their fishing requirements. Next is Stealth House above the sea water. This type of house is the same with similarity with the Tibuli house. Why? Ang kalainan lang nila kay stealth house kay nasa sa ang ilawom niya kay sea water. While ang Tibuli kay ang ilawom niya kay ground. Pero tumoy lang Japon siya. Nagyapon siya sa mabaw. Na siya ilawom silong. Next is the multi-story house. Having more than 2-story multi-story apartment building. Next is the Philippine urban housing community. So this type of house is found in our areas since after the Super Typhoon Yolanda. Kay after the typhoon kay daghan mang wala nay balay, so muna siya. So the housing project aims to provide living condition to the homeless Filipino citizen. Then the last one is the condo unit. So condo unit is an individually owned unit in a building. So usually ang maka-own ra jud sa kay condo unit kay katulad yung mga arang-arangan. That's all for the typical houses of the Philippines. Now let's proceed to the symmetry art of Okir. Are you familiar with sarimanok? How about the colorful binta sailboat in Zamboanga City? There are few of the common objects that can be alluded to our Filipino symbolism. These colorful, exquisite figures are greatly influenced by the unique craft called ochre. The origin of ochre can be traced back before Islam flourished in Mindanao or the National Museum of Anthropology. They are believed to have originated from the much earlier Okir or okil-okil decorative carving tradition of the Sama Bajau people, which are often highly individualistic and geometric. Here are some of the okil motifs of the Philippines. First is the okil motif. It is originated from southern Philippines or in the Maranao. It is a lavish decoration usually for Turugan house that made of wood that creatively carved by the Bajau people. Next one is the okil inspired costume. Okir design is also present in the clothing like what is shown in the picture. Binta. Binta is known to be lipa-lipa. So, binta is a colorful rectangular sails, usually used as a fishing vessels, cargo ships, and house boats. Next is sarimanok. Sarimanok is a legendary bird of Maranao people. Sari means assorted or various, while manok originally meant by bird. Sarimanok from the other term is bird or chicken of assorted color. Next one is the ochre wall plaster. This ochre wall plaster it is used as the wallpaper of the interior design of the house. So colorful jud kay nalang house ani. Next is the Okir on fabric and Okir in malong. This too is also common in our place but not as common in the Maranao people. That's all for my topic. Thank you for listening.